Okay, 3 boxes. Before that, other stuff. Star Wars episodes 1, 2, and 3. Because it completes things and it allows me to maybe choose to watch them again with the Darth Binks theory in mind. Edward's Scissorhands, which I've now watched it, but I had never watched before. It's a classic. South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, which I do believe is a South Park movie, and I'm trying to think if it says it anywhere on there. Ruthlessly Funny Movie is... I don't know. Okay, and then an 8 Jackie Chan 8-film collection in the 8s, which has a Battle Creek Brawl, City Hunter, Crime Story, Magnificent Bodyguards, Police Story 2, Dragon Fist, and The Protector. Last week I forgot to show this Funko, I think it's called. This was gifted to me by a friend who actually got his copy of Evangelion 3.33 before I did. And this would have been thematically appropriate for last week for the Sword Art Online stuff, but oh well, I forgot it. It's okay, I think. Let's just open stuff. First up, okay, because this is weird because the shape feels like it should be a VHS tape, even though it's obviously 2 things. Just have to remember to edit that part out. What's this? Black Bullet. That was fun. Maybe not completely fulfilling, but probably because not all source material was implemented. Might not even all be completed, who knows. This would be the Amazon order. And then there's another Right Stuff order right here, which should be Rokka. Volume 2, I think. Assuming I'm remembering right. I don't know, that should be enough to get it started, right? Without destroying my fingers. Here's the receipt. And we got the unwrapping of this. Assuming I can do it without knocking those off the table. The day, I think it's called. Keep going. Post-it note. Dramatic. I remember watching that. Being very happy with the stuff I started watching after it. Oh, looks like I got that one right. Before we continue, replacement version of Kingdom. Basically, you can see I now have a disc 2. My thought was to... Well, I guess I waited a day to decide what I was going to do, based on y'all saying that it seemed like a second thought sort of thing. I decided, instead of asking Funimation if they would send a disc, I would just go through the normal Amazon process. The other one going there, this arrived from Warner Brothers, which I guess they probably technically own this, and this is a replacement DVD and Blu-ray for Sailor Moon R Season 2, Set 2. So these are the replacement discs. I guess it's not really digging it out, but I need to dig out the discs from the other one and replace them. And then we also have this. So, I don't know, let's make a pile and just start. We got the Blu-ray version of Night on the Galactic Railroad. DVD version I think also got released, but I got the old copy. Maybe it's not great. Maybe it's okay. I generally assume it's okay unless I find out otherwise. And some of y'all are actually really helpful in terms of doing that, which I guess is an advantage of uploading these and people actually looking and double checking and catching me on my stupidness when I stupidly forget something. This actually says it's region A. 2 Japanese, 1 English, commentary, English signs and song. Oh, it's almost like this is what Eastern Star Discotheque do. Because they doed it. They doed it again. Is that everything? I guess that's everything. The inside, you know, we're not expecting anything super grandiose here. Just interesting. Things I would comment on if I'd actually watched it, but I haven't, so I can't, and I won't. Beyond just observing that it does look pretty. If only I can get this sleeve back on. Let's see, next up we've got a Blade Dance of the Elementalers. This DVD version, there we go. That's open. Blu-ray version is what I usually check stuff because we want to know, is it region A? It's region A. Japanese only? Japanese only. Very simple. I was just, I don't know, maybe thinking of CC with how high the thing on the front there that was going, and it doesn't do that for her. I think that's the same uniform. I don't know, it's weird. It's not that important. So as usual, DVD version comes with 3 discs. As you can see, the disc 1 arts are the same. The disc 2 arts are the same. So it's the disc 3 art that is different on the DVD version here. Purple haired girl right there. That's her head's big. That means it's important. Is that her? Yellow ribbon. I'm not sure if I see that yellow ribbon. Maybe it's not her. Oh look, I've been waiting for this for a long time. Evangelion 3.3D. DVD and Blu-ray versions. In theory, this one says DVD right there. I'm looking for where the Blu-ray one says Blu-ray. But yeah, it should be interesting watching this. It'd be nice to comment on sooner rather than later, since if you're waiting on it, you're maybe curious about stuff. But unfortunately, my evening's already late. That's right, I started opening these and I didn't even talk about it. There was no update yesterday because even though this shipment shipped a day earlier from Amazon than usual, early Saturday morning instead of late Sunday, it didn't arrive until today. The Amazon order. The Right Stuff stuff arrived on Monday, and maybe I could have done a smaller. I don't want to look too closely at that stuff because I don't want to perceive and understand what I am looking at. I don't feel like I want to touch that. That looks so shiny. It's very simple, but I really like its simplicity. Oh look, AB. And of course, it should be English dubbed. If it wasn't, that'd be interesting, but I'd probably still get it and watch it anyways, because Evangelion has been a really influential series in my anime life, I guess. Being responsible for both. Just me, or is this book actually bigger? It's a bigger version of the book. That's an interesting advantage for the DVD version there. Well, the DVD version doesn't have as shiny a disc. Oh. Anyways, I guess we just keep going. Pita-3. Oh look, Pita-Ten. I don't remember exactly what happened in this one. I just remember it really pissing me off. Maybe that cat girl thing. Oh well, as you can see, I still bought it anyways. Yes, I remember when I last saw this on shelves. That was, of course, a bootleg copy because it's the first legitimate release, I think. Oh look, it's Right Stuff's release. On the bright side, this has actually been one of the more interesting things to look at. The character design is definitely very cutesy. Probably related to the Digicare. I think everybody pronounces it Digicarrot, but I think it's the same, maybe character design or something. If not that, then what else does it remind me of? Little Sugar Fairy something something. And then of course Aldnoah.Zero Volume 3 DVD and Blu-ray versions, or other way around. So pop open this. I was saying something about, yeah, when I last saw that on shelves, that was like, oh yeah, I know this series. I didn't think it was out. This doesn't look like an official thing. In fact, it says 24 episodes in one thing. Back when, you know, getting all of these in one thing was actually unreasonable. That thing probably only had 4 discs, whereas this thing has like 6. So, you know, that was like the old way to tell bootlegs and stuff. I mean, sometimes there's other giveaways like, Pally. That's a really weird way to spell play. You know, let's go with the DVD version first. It's going to be bigger, have a better base and something or the other. Let's see, so it looks like a reversible cover. Have they all been reversible? Yeah, that's a reversible cover, and this first disc is getting beaten up quite a bit. So of course we've got, the insert doesn't seem to be too important. We've got the standard questionnaire, proof of purchase. Yay. And hey, here's the Blu-ray version. It's almost like I got both the DVD and the Blu-ray versions. Huh. It's kind of the opposite of the invertible stuff, isn't it? Same disc 1, disc 2 stuff. We'll put this ever so slightly in there so that we can go through these. Huh. That artwork is not on any of the stuff. It'd be good to probably look at a couple others in there, but I've not been doing those. We've got a booklet extra episode. So it looks like an extra manga episode or something like that. Is this like the entirety of the series or something? I could maybe look into it. Here's the proof of purchase. This is apparently the limited edition Blu-ray volume. Excellent. Let's actually do Persona 3 the movie first. This is Persona 3 the movie 3 Falling Down. Okay, this is one thing I noticed looking at the names of them. They all have plays on the seasons. So I think there's going to be a 4th movie. If I haven't already looked that up and seen that. But I was just noticing that. Like, I don't know. or so ago, maybe 2. It's all blurred thanks to Dragon Warrior and a not so great week. All this stuff wants to fall apart. Oh no, that looks a lot better. Because this, of course, is pretty bland. Looks like translations, which is a good thing to have. But you know, it's not as awesome as that. And then we've got, this seems familiar. Oh wow, that's shiny. What were some in these things? Okay, that's the back of it. Shiny. So I think this is actually gonna live, oh dear, back here. So one interesting thing about these movies is my brother is currently playing through the games. Our gaming's gotten more and more casual over time, I think. So me playing Dragon Warrior 7, him playing Persona 3, these are not exactly out of character for us, but more so than usual. Persona 3, the movie, and soundtrack stuff. Oh dear. Well, that's a very nice looking postcard, but unfortunately I'm not pulling out the rest. Interesting. I wonder, can I fit this in here? Wow, fit perfectly. Things next, I can accidentally dump it onto the ground as I try and do this. And then, oh yeah, it does say that on the front. And then because this is that sort of thing, I guess I'm trying to preserve their being held togetherness. Apparently I'm very bad at that. Hey, I got it on. Whoa. That disc is ready to slide down immediately. And last but not least, now we can do this. We can look at Rokka Braves of the Six Flowers Volume 2 Collector's Edition, which I'm not sure if they've released non-collector's edition versions of stuff yet. Like, Lisa was doing that for a while, and then there was the non-collector's edition, and then I ordered the non-collector's edition for something. Oh yeah, of that thing, the Love Live Season 1, which I already have the collector's edition for, but the non-collector should have a dub with it that is not present. Hence, let's see. This one says Japanese. Let's see subtitles. I don't see any region information, so I guess we just take a look on the inside. It definitely looks like a Curious series. I'm falling behind on so many series. Let's see. You have the usual support thing. You've got a DVD, Blu-ray, and if you flip up the DVD, you get original soundtrack volume 2. And to see the back of this a little bit better, I'll set that aside for now. Something fell on the keyboard back there. Hold on. Oops. Let's flip that down. Make this a little more stable. Where was that? Was that on the back? I don't know. Some stuff I don't want to look too carefully at because I don't want to spoil myself or anything, but yeah, that's this. Now it's just a question of, can I close it all? The answer being probably not. After all, I am not that. See, look, everything's falling apart. Except this is my life. Oh, there we go. Let's put it all together, turn it on its side, and say, hey, this week's anime DVD collection update. Not much anime this week. Just One Piece Season 7 Voyage 5. It was actually pretty good. It's not quite finished, but with this story arc. But it's definitely been building up and progressing and being interesting in, I think, just the right ways. When did that happen? Why did that happen? It's almost like it's been half a week since I've seen it. Beyond that, I guess I haven't watched anything else anime. Maybe just a little bit of rewatching of stuff here and there because, I don't know. I've been zoning out a bit. I'm definitely focusing really hard on finishing Dragon Warrior 7. There's just been other things. Lots of annoying things. And because of that, I went with easier things to watch, I guess. So like I mentioned, I had never seen Edward Scissorhands before. It's a pretty well-known Tim Burton film. And I guess Johnny Depp plays the titular character. So I was definitely, I don't know, I guess I'm rambling. I watched it. It was a good movie, I thought. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's like the perfect thing, but I can see myself rewatching it again if I really wanted to. Of course, watching that, I kind of felt like watching something else with a more charismatic Johnny Depp, and so I decided to watch Pirates of the Caribbean, and I watched the first 2 movies. Third movie, well, okay, so the first movie was good on its own. It's fun, it's interesting, it's exciting, it's a little clever, I think. But second movie was still pretty neat, I thought. It kind of fascinated you a bit more. It kind of made you wonder what was going to happen and how characters were going to deal with situations, and it gave you a pretty good twist at the end to try and draw you into the third movie. And then maybe I'll need to rewatch the third movie, but I kind of remember it was okay, but it wasn't as good as the first 2. And so it's a little downhill sort of thing there. I've not seen any after the third one. I think there may be 1 more or maybe 2 more or something like that. I don't have those, but yeah, it was fun to revisit what I did. And then X-Files Season 10, the new X-Files that's been airing. So the 3rd season came out a couple of days ago, or the 3rd episode? Did I say season? It was fun. I actually really liked it. My opinion has been that they've been getting better and better. Like, the first one is a good, appropriate, okay, this kind of brings us back on track. And then the second one is, this is a good Monster of the Week sort of thing that maybe has some thematic tie-in with the overall story they're trying to draw. And this last one is memorable. This one is definitely a great episode. I guess to kind of put it in a way, there's a couple of interesting things that are going on here with this episode. First of all, it's very self-aware. And I think I've talked about this before, about how it's one fun thing that shows can do. It's one thing I appreciate about Stargate, where something like Star Trek or Star Wars really can't, because Star Wars is a little too linearly action-packed, I guess. I mean, the idea is Star Wars is something that's usually created to be a movie, as opposed to just an ongoing thought process per se. The fan community is the ones who kind of do a really good job of bringing it alive beyond that. Whereas Star Trek, it on its own kind of has its own, it's trying to explore certain things and does some playfulness and whatnot, but it's not the sort of thing where it can make fun of itself, I guess. And that's one thing I really like about Stargate, is Stargate can kind of step back and they'll make an episode of the show in which there's people in the universe making a series like the show itself, and they'll have writers suggest, hey, you remember let's have the Zat disintegrate things on its 3rd thing in our show within the show, and the directors and producers within the show say, no, that's just stupid, because that original concept was considered stupid by the writers of Stargate as it matured, because it's a lazy plot device. It's convenient. And I have an example, but I don't really want to say it. In case you want to watch Stargate and blah, 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 blah. Where was I going with all this? Oh, yes. This X-Files episode was very self-aware. You have characters mocking kind of their own formulas, I suppose. You have characters acknowledging the gap in between seasons 9 and 10 of X-Files, the 15-year gap, and the implications that has on some of the ideas within the show. It's definitely intended to be a more amusing episode, and when X-Files can do that, it usually does a really good job of that. And this case, this was a good example of that. It was just a fun episode. I'm trying to decide if it would be a good episode to introduce people to, just because it would be entertaining and engaging. But the problem with that is it's looking at itself a lot. So it's also making a good amount of references to older stuff, things that people watching it might not entirely pick up on. What sort of things are those, and were they important? Because like DBZ Abridged, I think DBZ Abridged works out so well because you've watched the original Dragon Ball Z and you kind of know how it's poking fun at the concepts there, and it's throwing unexpected curveballs at you on this. That's fun, but I still think an important part of that, even if it's entertaining on its own, is having watched the original and feeling what they're doing with it, knowing what they're doing with it. That's different, I guess. And I guess with X-Files, I'm not sure if that would be a good intro. I don't know what would be a good way to get into the series at all, period, because I don't know, there's a lot of little things built up here and there. What else? Okay, so obviously Dragon Warrior 7 is still a distraction, but my progress is very far, especially since I didn't have to do the anime DVD collection update yesterday, so I took one step closer towards ending that. I've been doing a lot of grinding because I've been progressing through the game without doing too much of it, because you don't really need to. But as I'm approaching the end of the game, it's the sort of thing where it's like, once I do that, there's a good chance I might say, okay, I've finally beaten it. Maybe I'll explore some of the extra content. But really, I should consider beating the final boss to be my big goal. So if there was anything else I wanted to do in the game, before I did that, I should make sure I'm prepared to do that. In this case, I really wanted to get characters to the hero class, and I wanted to get all 4 of them. And maybe I mentioned this last week. The progress is they are 110 battles into the hero class, so 90 more and they'll master it, and it's a decent class. It boosts stats, it doesn't take from any, so the characters are still pretty good representations of their individual capabilities, but they're going to be hero class. So, yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll hit the final dungeon, and then the Demon Lord, and I guess because I've put so much levels into them, they're like level 55 to 58 or something like that, and they might go up 1 or 2 more. Probably not 2 more, but so they might go up 1 more before I finish, so that's about 20 levels higher, maybe 20. Yeah, I guess it could be getting close to 25 levels higher than when they started. Because they were like 33, and then that's like 53, and then 58. That's 28. That's 25. I don't know. The math feels wrong for some reason, but whatever. So, anyways, I think this means they should be pretty well leveled for taking on these endgame bosses. The bonus bosses, I'm not sure, and maybe I'll be finished. Maybe I'll just officially say, okay, I'm done with this game at that point. But I guess the thing to do is to just play it and hope that I'll actually maybe finish the game this weekend. it's that close. Like, after I record this video, I'll probably find some time to fire it up and get those last couple of hours of training in. Those last couple of hours of grinding. And then there's just whatever other time I put into it. Which might not be tomorrow. I guess we'll have to see what tomorrow's going to be like. You see, I'm rambling. It's actually been a real stressful week. Too many things to talk about. I've talked about too much as it is. I should let y'all go. Can I think of anything that's worth mentioning? Yeah, nothing comes to mind. Alright, y'all have a nice week.